Okay, this is the recorded solution for the third homework over chapter 7. So I'll go ahead and share my screen here because I'm going to be working exclusively in MySQL Workbench for this. Okay, as I do these, I'm going to try to help you think through the way that I process things in my mind, because I think that helps to understand how to think through writing queries. So hopefully that'll be clear there. Okay, so I'll start with number 44. It says write a query to display the 8 departments in the LG department table. And we're using chapter 7, and I think I called mine chap 7. I'm going to say use chap 7. I'm going to execute that. And now everything else that I do in this window is going to use that database. So I can actually delete that, but I may go over here and expand this just so that I see the table names. That'll help me to know what to type and how and all that. Okay, so I want the departments in this table, and I can actually look over here and see my columns in that table are department number, department name, all of those. A few ways I could do this. The easiest would be just say select all from LG part. Execute it. And I see my 8 rows in here. So that'll do for that question. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Okay, number 45, write a query to display the SKU, description, type, base, category, and price for all products that have a prod base of water and a prod category of sealer. Okay. So first of all, I know that I'm going to be using the products table, so I'm going to go over here and expand that, and I want to see what the columns are actually called, so I'm going to expand that. And I'm going to come up here, and first of all, I'm just going to say select SKU, so that's going to be prod underscore SKU. Description, looks like that's going to be prod underscore descript. Ooh, I like how it pulls that up for me. Type, base, and category. So prod underscore type, prod underscore base, prod underscore category, and price. Prod underscore price. Okay. From LG product. Okay. Where, well, actually, let's just stop here. So sometimes before I do the where clause, I like to just see what's in the table. So I can go ahead and run this and just see what all's in this table, and I can kind of see what things look like. Okay. Now I'm going to add a where clause over here. I'm going to say where, and it says where prod base is water, prod underscore base equals, and then in single quotes I'm going to put, and it looks like it capitalizes the first letter there. Probably isn't case sensitive, but I like to pay attention to case just in case. And prod underscore category equals sealer. Okay, now let's run it. And it looks like we got exactly one item. So, but prod base is water, prod category sealer, that's what we're looking for. And I assume that the query worked correctly. Okay. Move on to number 46. It says write a query to display first name, last name, email address of all employees hired from January 1st, 2001 to December 31st, 2010. Sort the output by last name, then by first name. Okay, so first of all, I know I'm going to be looking in the employee table. So let's expand the employee table, look at the columns, and say select, let's see, first name, it's going to be imp underscore f name, imp underscore l name, imp underscore email from LG employee. Okay. So first of all, I'm just going to start with that. See what else in there. Okay. So I've got an idea of what's going on in there. Now I need to add a where clause. And before I do the where clause, sometimes I like to see what's in that field that I'm going to filter by. So the hire date is going to be imp underscore hire date. So let's run that and see what it looks like. Okay, here's the hire dates, and I can see the format for the dates in there, and this is going to help me in my where clause. So I can go ahead and get rid of that field because I didn't want that in my output, but it's going to help me write my where clause, where imp underscore hire date, hire date between, and then I'm going to put these in single quotes. They kind of treat them as like text data, but you definitely want to put them in the same format here. So 2001-01-01 and 2010-12-31. Okay, let's see what that does first. Okay, cool. So it does look like it had filtered it to some extent. Now the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to sort the records. It says to sort by last name and then first name. So I do that with an order by clause, imp underscore l name, imp underscore f name. Okay. Run it again. And there's my output. Okay. Let's move on to number 47. Write a query to display first name, last name, phone number, title, department number of employees who work in department 300 or have the title clerk 1. Okay. All right, so I'm still in the employee table, which is kind of easy here. So I'm going to say imp first name, imp last name, imp phone, imp title, and actually it's not that, it's department number from LG employee. And again, let's just see what that looks like to begin with. Okay. Now, what's the next thing it says? Who work in department 300 or have the title clerk 1. So let's say where dept number equals 300, or imp underscore title equals, title equals clerk. Okay, let's run that first, see how it looks. Okay, see lots of 300s here. I don't see any clerk 1s there. Maybe there wasn't a space. Let's see if that is anything different. Nope. Maybe there aren't any with the title clerk 1. That's kind of interesting. It is written correctly though. So last part of it is to sort the outputs. I'm going to do the order by clause. And I want it sorted by last name and then first name. Underscore last name. Underscore first name. Alright. Run that. And there's my result. Okay, number 48. It says write a query to display employee number, last name, first name, salary, from date, salary end date, and salary amount for employees. And it gives me a few different numbers there. It says sort the output by employee number and salary from date. Okay, now this is our first one where we're actually going to be using two different tables. So this is kind of interesting. So in addition to the LG employee table, I want to look at LG salary history table, see what those columns look like. Okay, so I can kind of see both columns at the same time here. Okay, so the first thing I want is the employee number. Now I'm going to do this wrong just to begin with, because I want to kind of show a point here. Impnum, select impnum, last name, last name, first name, salary from date is going to be sal from, salary end date is sal underscore end, and salary amount, sal underscore amount. There you go. From LG employee, comma, LG salary history, where LG employee dot, employee dot impnum equals LG here, so give me the drop down LG salary history dot impnum. Okay. That's a lot already. Let's run that. Okay. It should have given me an error. Oh, it did. Okay, so down here at the bottom it says column employee number. It says error code 1052, column imp num in field list is ambiguous. And what that means is imp num exists both in the LG employee table and in the LG salary history table. So actually, you can't just guess which table to pull it from, you have to tell it. So I'm going to say LG employee dot imp num. And that way it knows exactly which field I want. Okay, and since we're pulling records where those are equal, the imp num is going to be the same for either one. So it really doesn't matter which one I put there, which table I put. I have to tell it one of the tables. Okay. Go ahead and organize this a little bit better just so we can kind of see what all's going on here, because there's a lot going on in this one. So I've got the select, I've got the from, I've got the where, and I've actually got another part of the where. So I want to join those two tables together, but I've also got and LG employee dot imp underscore num, and I can use the in keyword there and just list out the numbers. 83731, 83745, and 84039. Go ahead and just run that first. Okay. And the last part of this is order by employee number and salary from it. So, okay. And that's it. That one was definitely more complicated, but still not too difficult. Okay, moved to number 49. Write a query to display the first name, last name, street, city, state, zip code for any customer who purchased a Forester's Best brand top coat between July 15th, 2013 and July 31st, 2013. If a customer purchased more than one such product, display the customer's information only once in the output. Sort the output by the state, last name, then first name. Okay. Now this one is fairly complicated because we've got customer information, but we also need to know something about the products that the customer bought. And if we look back on the ERD for this, the way we get from customer to products is through invoice and invoice line. And in fact, we've got to go all the way to brand, I think. Yeah. So we actually have to get to the brand table as well. So we're going to include customer, invoice, LG line, product, and brand. We've got 5 tables involved in here. So this one's complicated. But if we take it one step at a time, it's not too difficult. Okay. So from the customer table, let me go over here and look at the customer table in here. LG customer, look at my columns. I want first name, first name, last name, last name, street, city, state, zip. So now in the from clause, I want all of the tables that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to look at my ERD as I type these because, yeah. Okay, so I want LG customer, LG invoice, LG line, LG product, LG brand. Okay, from all of those tables. Now for my where clause, I'm going to need to join all these tables first. Okay. And actually, this is at this point, I think it might be easier to give these aliases. So I'm going to say as C for LG invoice. I'm going to say as I. LG line, I'm going to say as L. LG product, I'm going to say as P. And LG brand, I'm going to say as B. This makes it easier if I can refer to the table with one letter rather than typing the entire table name. So where C dot how are those joined? Cust code equals I dot cust code. Okay, and let's say I dot end num equals L dot end num. And L dot prod skew equals P dot prod skew and P dot brand underscore ID equals B dot brand underscore ID. And all I just did right there is I joined all of my tables together. And this is more of kind of an informal join. In the next chapter, it talks a little bit about inner and outer joins. But this works just fine for doing this query. Okay, now I actually have some other criteria. But before I do that other criteria, let's go ahead and just run this. Well, it may bring up too much information if I run the. I'm going to go ahead and do my criteria. And let's say, what did I want to know? Forster brand, top coat, Forrester's best. Okay. Okay, B dot brand underscore name. I think that's right. Look in the brand table here. Yep. Equals Forrester's best. And between, so this is going to be the invoice date. I dot in date between 2013 -07 -15 and -07-31. And top coat. Forgot. Top coat is the category of the product. Or product type. Sorry, not category. Or guess I kind of need to look at the data in there. Let's see if we can get a new window here and see. Okay, so if I do use tab 7 and select all from LG product, now I can see what's in here. And I'm looking for top coats. Okay, so top coat is a category. Okay. So p dot prod underscore category equals top. Now let's run it. Okay. Now the last part is it tells me which order it wants the, it tells me more. Well, let's go ahead and do the sort first. Sort the output by state, last name, and first name. So let's say order by cust state, cust file name, cust. Okay. And actually this is perfect. So there's one customer down here that shows up twice. And the problem specifically said if a customer bought the same product twice, we only want them to show up for once. So in here we need to add a keyword distinct. Now if I run this again, that disappears. So the duplicates are taken out and it only shows each customer once, which is exactly what I wanted in this problem. Okay, and that's it. This was probably the most complicated one on this homework. But again, if you take it one step at a time, it's not too difficult. All right, number 50. Let's go ahead and delete everything after that. Okay. It says it wants the employee number, last name, email address, title, department name of each employee whose job title ends in the word associate. Sort the output by department name and employee title. Okay. So if I want information about employees, okay, here's employees, and I want a department name, In employee, I've got department number, but department name is going to be in the department table. So I'm going to need both of those tables to get all this information. So first of all, let's do my output. Imp underscore num imp underscore name imp underscore email underscore title department name is going to be kept underscore name. Okay. From LG employee, LG department, where, and first let's do our join, LG employee dot employee dot department number equals LG department dot department number. Okay. Now the other criteria here, it wanted the ones where the job title, underscore title, ends in, title, ends in associate. And the way we do that is we use the like keyword, and then we use the % sign to show which part of that can vary, and then we do the rest of it here. Okay. Go ahead and do the order by to, order by department name. And employee title. Run it. It says imp num is ambiguous. And that's kind of interesting. I forgot the department had imp num, but it does because the employee who is the who runs the department is in there. So I want LG employee dot imp num. Where else do I need that? I think that's it. So let's run it again. Okay, cool. And all of these are associates. Some are senior associates. So that's cool. It's getting the right ones. All right. Number 51. Okay, now we're going to start using some group bys. Write a query to display a brand name and the number of products of that brand that are in the database. Sort the output by the brand name. Okay, so I want brands and products. So I'll close these here. Oops. There's brand. And here's product. Okay, so let's see the columns on both of those. There's my column for brand. Here are my columns for products. Okay, so let's come back up here. I want brand underscore name. And then I want the number of products of that brand that are in the database. The easiest way to do this is to count the number of records for each one of those. So I'm going to use the count function. Count prod underscore SKU. That's the primary key of the table in there. The thing is, if you use the count function, you want to count a field that actually has a value for every number. And so by using the primary key of that table, I know that there will be a value for each of those. If it encounters a null, I think it doesn't count it. And so you want to use that count on a field that does have a value for everyone. Okay, I'm going to give it an alias as prods from, and then I'm going to do LG brand, LG product, where, now I need to join them, LG brand dot, brand dot brand ID equals LG product dot brand ID. Okay, and now here's where the magic comes in, the group by brand underscore name. And that right there does it. And the cool thing about grouping by is it also sorts by that field. So you really don't, even though the problem tells you that you want it ordered by that, it already does it if you grouped by it. So you don't have to add the order by clause because the group by already does that. Okay. All right, number 52, last one. Write a query to display the number of products in each category that have a water base. Okay, so on this one, we just need LG product. That's kind of fun. Okay, number of products in each category. So, prod category. And then I'm going to do the count prod SKU again, because I know that there will be a value for all those as prods from, and this time it's just LG product. I only have one table. So I don't need to join tables together, which is good. But I do have a where. And the where is going to be have a water base, where prod underscore base equals water. Group by, and it's going to be prod category. Okay, and that should do it. Cool. And that is it. That's all for this homework. So hopefully it's for you. And that's all we got.